YouTube, it's Comixbear. Hope you're all doing okay. It's Saturday evening and I'm just relaxing now.
I'm losing consciousness, and yet I'm still aroused.
I'm not asleep. I'm trying to visualize a positive future for me to live in.
Had a pretty quiet day today. I meant to do a video earlier today and I actually meant to do one yesterday, but got caught up in a few different things.
Come on, Rangers! Follow my lead! Calling on the spirit of the shark!
The Rangers are taking it to the next level! A new sword!
Let's see, starting off, I did go back to work this week. Because of good old Tennessee state laws, turns out that I wasn't going to get paid at all for any of these days that I was off on workman's comp.
We got the big bucks, stop it all. On his way to Miami with you and my...
At least not for the first week I was off. And I was feeling a little bit better, so I decided to heck with it. I wasn't supposed to see the doctor until this coming Wednesday because she was going to be out of town. I managed to call and get to see another doctor.
Low tech, but it gets the job done.
I got approved to go back to work, so I was working. I've had just the teeniest bit of back pain here and there, but not anything bad, and just a little bit of ibuprofen knocks it out, which is actually a pretty good thing because the medicines that I was going to get from the doctor, I never did get.
Just to love my chick, and I don't work for nobody but you. When my temperature rise, and then I go for her.
And before you go saying, Comixbear, you should be getting those medicines, it's not my fault. I have been totally broke, and so didn't have the money to go buy the medicines. So I asked my boss about if there was a way I could get them through work since it was workman's comp. And she was there, oh yes, you take them over to this little place over here, and they will fill them for you. It might take just a little bit because they have to call and get approval first. Okay, so I took them over to the pharmacy that she told me to last Monday. And they called, left a message. I waited around about half an hour, and they said, well, we're still waiting. We haven't heard back from them. I said, okay, can you give me a call whenever they do call back? Fine. Didn't hear from them that day. Called back the next day. Still nothing. Called back Thursday. Still nothing. So here we are on Saturday evening, and I know I'm not going to be hearing from them tomorrow, so it's going to be a week without hearing anything on these medicines. Isn't the wonderful people of workman's comp just so good to you? Anyway, so done with that. And of course today been kind of distracted because a certain YouTube troll has been back in action. I'm not going to be talking about any names. I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about. And this may make me a target again. I don't care. She can't do anything because all original material, bitch. Yeah. Yes, I know I shouldn't bait the trolls, but I do anyway. Like I said in a comment to somebody else, it's kind of like watching a really bad movie. The kind that are so bad they're funny to watch. You have to laugh even though the person that made it wasn't intending for you to laugh at it there. You know the type I'm talking about. So I've been dealing with that. Yesterday had a party that I went to for Christmas. It was our little church had the Christmas party for the kids yesterday. It was nice. Had a pretty good amount of kids there, and I took my niece to go and have fun with her. She enjoys going to the different parties that our church throws, and so I enjoyed taking her. She's turns 11 next week, so I love her to death. Love my nephew to death, but he doesn't like to go to these kind of things anymore. He's almost 15, so he's too old for all that. Remember those days, people? And so went to the party, and it was fun. Had several different people that I knew there and was talking to and enjoying myself. And they had a face painter, and my niece insisted I was the first one to sit down and get my, well, it wasn't exactly my face painted. I got top of my head painted. I put this space for rent, And my niece picked out what she wanted me to have on there. She does this every time they have one of the parties. And I'm going to include a picture. What I did was I had a poinsettia put up on my head. Yeah. First of all, here's a picture of them doing the painting itself. And here I am, showing off my wonderful forehead, where I basically said to everybody, this is what happens when you don't wash your head for a few weeks. You have things growing up there. So, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed myself. My niece, and she enjoyed herself. I love her to death. She's the kind that goes to these parties and then doesn't interact with the kids very well. She interacts better with the adults and has to be urged to have fun. She pretends like she's not having fun when she really is, and is always so happy she went at the end. So that was good. Had fun with that. And just think, we're less than 2 weeks before Christmas, and I can't afford a thing. Oh well. That's the way it goes. We deal with it, and fortunately, family is more important than gifts anyway. Now, if I can just convince my family of that. And one more thing I was going to talk about. In an earlier video, I talked about watching the first episode of Alice on Sci-Fi Channel, how much I loved the first episode. And, the second episode, I didn't enjoy as much.
Do you have a knife?
I mean, it was still fun to watch, but some of the things that bothered me, for those of you who watched it, and there might be a spoiler or two here for those of you who haven't seen it, so if you haven't seen it, go forward just a few seconds, or, I'll see you next video. Okay? Now, one of the things that I was kind of disappointed in was the whole bit about Alice's father and how she was brought to Wonderland in order to bring him back, wake him up, from being a slave of the Queen of Hearts. Why? Once he woke up, it didn't change a thing. All it did was, cause the loss of one scientist, or wherever he was there. It was through the actions of Alice herself that the Queen was brought down.
I'm so sorry.
And another big thing that bothered me was the whole bit about the Duchess suddenly saving the prince because of her love for him. Where did that come from?
Why are you doing this?
Isn't it obvious? I care about you, Jack.
Out of left field, And, I mean, I'm sorry. I want if I'm going to have that kind of corn, I want some butter and salt to go with it. And finally, the knight, they're setting up all these skeletons of the other knights to make it look like a big force is attacking the Queen. And everybody's just panicking inside the House of Cards. Going, oh no, there's thousands of knights there. Now, this must not have been a very good force to fight, because they didn't notice, A, that only one person out of all these thousands was moving.
Keep your head, man! Keep your head!
And B, they didn't notice that these were being set up, and it had to have taken some time to set them up.
That doesn't make sense to me.
What happened? So no wonder she, the Queen got knocked over, because not two bright people working for her.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So, I say the end was kind of cornball in some ways. I enjoyed some of it, but just the whole ending just didn't work for me. It should have done a little bit different. But then again, no one is asking my opinion, but I gave it to you anyway. Well, I think that's going to call it quits for now. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. And I hope you all having a good night, good weekend. I'll see you later. Peace.